Hey, welcome to Design with Miyoshi. I'm going to make our last of the half sections today. So a model and then the drawing.
But first, I want to thank Northwest Technical Products for sponsoring this video. If you are part of an educational institution in Washington, Alaska, Oregon, Idaho, or Montana, contact Northwest Technical Products for all your SolidWorks and other technical needs. Thanks, Andrew, and all the crew at Northwest Technical Products. So let's get started. We're going to make a new part. And then once it gets started here. All right, so again, we're going to make a sketch and sketch. And we're going to go ahead and do this on the front plane. And I'm going to make a circle and another circle centered on the origin, and another circle and another circle. So there's 4 circles there, and I'm going to go ahead and dimension them. And 1, 2, 3. Thank you, right? 4, maybe. All right, so we're going to make those guys there, and then we're going to make this thing called a keyway. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. So a keyway is a way so that this wheel, which is going to be, can keep turning on a shaft to make sure it stays in the same place. So it actually can turn rather than the shaft moving without it. So we're going to make a keyway. And all I'm going to do is make some lines here. And notice I'm not going to grab the circle there. I'm just going to leave it outside. And so there's my keyway. Now I'll put some relations in here. And this is one time when I like that center midpoint thing. So if I click here, notice how the midpoint shows up. I'll click on the midpoint and click on the origin. And I want to make them vertical to each other because I want the keyway lined up with the origin. All right, now an interesting thing here is when we dimension this guy. Oops, I guess I can go ahead and trim this up, but I don't think I'm going to trim it quite yet. I'm going to dimension it. And the thing with the keyway, you always dimension from the top of the keyway to the top of the circle. So I'm going to grab the circle with the shift key. So I'll grab the top of the circle with my shift key held down, and then I'll grab the line. And notice that makes it the distance from the top of the circle to the top of the keyway. So I'll bring it out here so I can read it. And that's going to be 1.25, 1/8 inch. Okay, and then I'll measure the width of this guy. And that width is 0.1875 or 3/16 of an inch. I can actually put 3/16 if I want, 3/16. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim this. So actually I'll trim one side because I like to use trim sometimes, and I'll add a relation for the other one. And remember, all I have to do is do endpoint and circle, and I'll just do coincident. And I have one more trim. I'll zoom in here a little bit more, and I will trim this circle. And notice again, before I trim the circle, this dimension for the keyway is from the top of the circle to the top of the keyway. So I'll just drag across there, and notice it still dimensions to the top of the circle to the top of the keyway. All right, now I'll zoom out a bit. Okay, and notice that everything's black, all my lines are black, so that means everything is hunky-dory, it's all constrained, and so there we have it. That's the beginning. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make my features, and I'm going to extrude boss base. Now, this one I'm going to do a little different. I'm going to go ahead and extrude different parts. So I'm going to extrude let's not extrude the outside yet. I'm going to extrude this part here, and it's fairly short. Just extrude it 0.25, quarter of an inch, and then I'll hit OK. Now, notice I have the whole sketch here, and I just did a region. So I'm going to click on the triangle here, click on the sketch, I go back to boss extrude. And I don't want to extrude the whole sketch again, so I'll just grab the contours. Let's grab that. Don't need that. I want to grab the inside here, so that shows the area between the keyway and the other part. And notice it tries to extrude at the same distance, so I don't want that. I want to extrude this guy at 1.5, and that extrudes it out farther. Okay, and then one last thing, I'll click on the triangle here again, or I can click on this. It's the same sketch, so I can click on either one. So let's click on this one this time. Again, extrude boss base, and again it tries to extrude at 1.5. I don't want this guy. I want to have, come on, clear the section. I want to have it extrude just this part, and I don't want 1.5. I want to do this 1.25. There we have it. Now, this is almost done. There's a couple more things I have to do. Actually, only one more thing I need to do. I want to make a fillet. I need to make 2 fillets. There's one fillet around this edge, which is inside there, and one around this edge. And all I want to do is, well, let's see, let's make it 1/8. I think I made 1/8. Okay, 1/8 of an inch. There we have it. Now it's all done. There's a fillet on the outside. Oh, right, there we have it. I'm going to save this guy up. Save. And this is called 9-49J. Notice I did this one before, just to practice, but I did it so I can have all the dimensions right. All right, so now we're going to make, after we save it, we're going to go ahead and make a new drawing, and I'll just make the drawing from part. I like to do it that way. And again, NCA landscape, hit OK. And again, I could drag this front view over, but I don't like to do it that way. I would much rather do drawing, model view. I like to do the same process all the time. Next there, I don't need multiple views. I don't want the front view. I want hidden lines, and I want to use the sheet scale. Okay, so once I do that, I'll just pull this guy over here. I'll put it on the right side, and there we have it. Now, was it okay? Notice there's these extra lines there. Those are the tangent edges. So I'm going to turn those off. So I'll right click in the view, tangent edge removed. So again, make sure this dashed line is showing. It's the same dashed line if I want to move it with the left click with those crosses there, crosses with the arrow, or I can right click to get that menu. Tangent edge is removed. And there it looks much better. It looks like it's supposed to. All right, now I'll come over here to section view, and I want to do a half section, and I want to do that one on the left because I'm going to put the left view there. I'll grab the center. If you grab just willy-nilly anywhere, that doesn't make any sense. That's totally unacceptable. So we'll do this again. I just want to show that real quick. Half section, that left one there, and I'll grab the origin, or the origin is in this case. out of center. Hit the enter, or click on that, and I'll drag that off to the left. Click there, and there we have it. Now, notice this changed to BB because I made it a section already. So I'll make that an A, capital A. If I flip direction, that would be incorrect. I'd have to put this view to the right side, but I don't want that. I want that on that side. I'll hit OK. And notice that the center lines here, or the cut lines, they look like center lines, but they are there from before. So I'll hit the delete. I'll just delete them. Click on it and delete. Hit the delete button. And there it's all cleaned up. Beautiful. All right. Now, last thing, of course, I'm going to bring in my model items. And I don't want to select a feature. I want an entire model. Bring it all in. And unfortunately, it's got all these strange dimensions. They put them in weird places. So I'm going to zoom in a bit here. And let's bring this 0.19 out a bit farther. And I could probably even make that guy show more decimal places. I can bring it out 4. And let's see here. I don't like this dimension out here. I don't like this. So I'll just delete these instead of trying to drag them over to the right, because sometimes it's easier just to dimension again. I'm going to leave this on here for a moment, even though I'm not going to use it. That's the keyway. This guy here, I'll bring it up. I'll bring this guy up also, and I'll bring this guy up. Okay. Now notice I need to drag the endpoints. One nice thing about this particular version of SolidWorks, I'll bring that 0.25 out there, is that the endpoints, if you grab the endpoints and you move it up to the endpoint, it actually makes the gap just like you would expect it would. This one here, you want to drag to this endpoint. 0.125, I'll drag this up again. All the versions of SolidWorks that I've used, even if you put it right there at the end, it didn't make that gap exactly right all the time. So I thought that was really nice. Grab this endpoint again, bring it up, drag this guy, bring it up to the endpoint, and there we have it. So now this view, well, let's see. I think I want to drag this up just a touch more, even though, oops, even though I grab that endpoint properly, it doesn't quite look quite right. So I'll drag it. Yeah, it's close enough. All right, that shows that. Now, I probably should dimension. No, the rest of it, I'll just do smart dimensions. And I'm going to dimension this fillet here. And again, I'll show 3 dimensions. It's 3 decimals. It's 0.125. And notice there's only 2 fillets. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 2x in front of that radius there. 2 capital X space. That shows that there are 2. And they're both the same size. Again, I'm leaving that for a moment. Now, the rest of them, I will dimension this guy. And even though it shows a radius, I think I'm going to change that to a diameter. So liters, I'll change it to a diameter dimension. And again, I'll make sure that it's got 3 decimal places. Okay. Dimension this guy. Yeah, right about there's fine. Oops, let's change that down to here. All right. Now, notice I could dimension these guys, and that would work out beautifully. But when I actually make this, the important thing is actually that this is this width. So I'm going to instead dimension from this line to this line, and I'll bring that out here, and I'll bring it up, look like that, because that's more important than these 2 guys, except for maybe this guy. So I'll get rid of this dimension, and I'll leave this here because it's an important dimension as well. Now, the last thing is the keyway. Again, I don't want this guy here. It kind of shows it, but not really. So I'm going to zoom in tighter. And again, I want to dimension to the top of the circle. So I'll hold the shift key, grab the circle, then I'll grab the line here and bring it up. Now, it kind of looks like it's grabbing the endpoint, but if you zoom in here, you notice that it's not grabbing that intersection. It grabbed the top of the circle. And if you want, you can even drag this in a little bit. Come on. Just to show that if you want. I didn't mean to drag it up. Yeah, we'll see like it is then. All right. There you have it now. We realize that dimension. We don't want that. And notice that it just shows the way that the material is. So here's the material. Is that dashed? And the rest is kind of not. Oh, there should be one more. I guess it took away the tangent edges. Usually you see some tangent edges in this guy, but it didn't show it. So, oops. Oh, yeah, not in there. So I'll just right click here. I'll just make sure the tangent edges are removed in this view too. Okay, so there's that. I'll zoom out. And I'll zoom in again. Right click sheet format. Right click sheet format. Edit sheet format. Again, you've seen me do this a bunch of times, but I'll put in name, put in a date. No, I'll put the 0, even though I like to. I will put in the 2020, even though I like to. Put in this. I'll just put the same thing, 9-49J. Oops, J, I already have cap locks on. And put in my company, if you will, name. And there we have it. Now I'm all ready to go. Right click sheet format 1, edit sheet. Zoom out again here. And I'll save it. Save all my parts. And save the drawing. Then I'll do one more thing. I'll do a save as, and save this drawing as a PDF. And there we have it. So the last of the 4 half sections, and hopefully that gives you a good idea also about making keyways and a bunch of other fun stuff. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Design with Miyoshi.